moratorium on death warrants or on executions, stemming from judgments of courts. This moratorium be removed? Should death sentences be carried out more quickly? Let's get your take on this. The line's open. Call 0817. No, that's not a number. Rather, call 070 0923 0923. That's 070 0923 0923. Also, joining via facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Also joining via Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Also YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. Should death sentences be carried out a lot quicker in the country? At the moment, we've got over 3,000 inmates across different correctional centers in the country, over 3,200 of them on death row. Governors unwilling to sign their death warrants, so the death sentence cannot be executed. I don't know. Should governors stop doing that? Should they be compelled? Is there a way? If there were a way to compel governors, should that way be explored? Maybe, I don't know, maybe by the enactment of some law that once a person has been sentenced to death, barring any ongoing appeals, because even if a court of first instance sentences the person to death, the person can appeal, I suppose. So barring any ongoing appeals, so when all appeals have been exhausted, should governors have some timeline within which they must sign a death warrant? Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 6 months. I don't know. Just asking you. Because once again, we've got people on death row for upwards of 10 years. And I'm uncertain at all when that day is going to come. If you're unable to reach 070 0923 0923, you may call 0817 923 0002 or 0003 or 0007. Once again, the numbers to call are 070 0923 0923 or 0817 923 0002 or 0817 923 0003 or 0007 or 0009. You know what? I'll have to check. I suppose we may have some problems with the phone line right now. I'll get back to a quick break, rather. We'll return with the conversation shortly. Do please stay tuned.
Politics,
Hello, welcome back. Still hard back to Nigeria Info. I'm Dayo. 23 gone past 4 p.m. Discussions are on. The numbers to call going forward 0817 923 0002 or 0817 923 0003 or 0817 923 0007. Via facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, via Twitter as well at Nigeria Info PH. And the topic of discussion once again 3,298 inmates in death row in Nigeria, as according to the Correctional Service. And I'm asking, should death sentences be carried out more quickly in the country? What do you think? Although I do have to go for a commercial break shortly. Charity EA on Facebook goes, the only problem I have with signing the execution is that some of them are innocent. Maybe that's possible. Anyways, I have to go for that break now. Return shortly. Do please stay with us.
I don't get what goes. Hey, now my picky.
with Dayo.
Welcome back. 29 minutes to go before 5 o'clock. The news update is up at 5. It is Hard Factor Nigeria Info, your number one talk station. I'm Dayo. Let's talk. 3,298 inmates on death row in Nigeria. That's the number of death row inmates across the custodial centers in the country, according to the Nigerian Correctional Service. Public Relations Officer of the service, Abubakar Umar, also said that the term condemned criminal has been abrogated. Rather, they use inmates on death row now. And according to him, quote, there are often long periods of uncertainty for the convicted while their cases are being appealed at higher levels. Some offenders have been executed more than 15 years after their convictions. They were basically awaiting the hangman's noose in our custodial centers after being found guilty of capital offenses. And according to him, currently there is somewhat of a kind of moratorium on execution of offenders. Before the moratorium on execution of IDRs again widespread, executions of IDRs were being carried out as at when due. But with the rising activities of human rights groups, many governments shy away from signing the death warrants of these offenders. Though still in practice, it's not common as it used to be. The last execution was carried out in 2016 in Edo. We encourage state governors to shy away from signing death warrants to commute them into other sanctions. So let's talk about this now. The issue of death sentences and the execution, and how governors seem unwilling to sign them these days. Should death sentences be executed more speedily in the country? Do you suppose so? Especially once again, as these sentences, as with other sentences, as punishment for offences. In the case of death sentences, they are punishment for capital offences. Also, besides punishing the offender, these punishments, if you will, or sentences are to serve as a deterrent to other potential offenders as well. But if a person knows that even if I commit this capital offence, even if I'm caught, even if there's a trial, even if I get a death sentence, I very likely would not be executed. So, is there really any deterrence from committing capital crimes? The line's open. Please call 0817-923-0002 or 0817-923-0003 or 0817-923-0007. Those have been informed. Those are the numbers to call now. So please do not call the 0700 number again. Rather, call 0817-923-0007 or 0009. Or also on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Via Facebook, Luth Joel goes, good evening, Dial. Have you wondered why the rising spate of jungle justice? That's because people no longer find closure in our justice system. I mean, someone killed someone. Why should that person be alive and be feeding from the taxpayers' money? Does an individual have monopoly of another person's life? Not signing death warrant and fast execution is a dangerous precedent. If people are not punished for committing crimes, it will sure encourage others from doing so. That's from Simon Joel. All right. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Dayo, good evening.
Hello, go ahead.
Yes, Comrade SPS, that's on the line. Dayo, do you know why the crime is always increased in Nigeria? Because all those things, the law made it that when it happens, that others will learn. But because of those delays, perhaps when any of our brother, our friend, our brother who knows somebody will enter, they will give you state pardon. They will forgive you just as the chief judges normally go to. So because of that, then it gives some of them the, moral justification, so to say, to commit crime anyhow. After all, nothing will happen. At the end of everything, they convict me, and after 3 or 5, 6 years, I must see somebody who knows somebody, and I will come out. That is why we are still in this quagmire we find ourselves, which is very difficult for us to come out. If the thing is executed, immediately the law is given. You don't even need to, I don't know how they made the law that governor have to. Immediately the chief judge or whoever the law pronounced, I expected them to match the word with action. I don't know the one they are waiting. So many people, I look. Okay, you remember the story of Reverend King. Reverend King is still alive till today. How many years? And many others. Dayo, I will rest my case here. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all.
Once again, you'll take as well. Once again, call 0817 923 0002 or 0817 923 0003. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good evening, Dayo.
Hi, go ahead.
Yeah, Dayo, I believe we should look away to enforce the government or any governor who refuses to sign that warrant, because this is made by law. If the court has found you guilty and pronounce death to you or to anybody, I don't see any reason why any governor of any state should refuse to sign it. I see that as a negligence on duty. This is the obligation you go to the public as concern your office. Why are you shying away from it? I don't just know the point. So they should look away and mandate any governor who will refuse to sign this thing and see the way the law will back on them. Because this is another way to, not to force the law.
Do you think the part about governors having to sign the death warrant, do you think that should be expunged from the law?
Again.
Do you think the part about governors having to sign death warrants, can you turn off your radio set, please?
It is very faint. I cannot hear you.
Maybe if you turn off your radio set, you will hear me better.
Using the telephone with cannot hear you. Sorry.
Can you hear me now? Via Facebook, Precious the shooting goes. Good evening, Dayo. They should be executed. Hello?
Hello?
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Dayo. This is Uche. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead, please.
So, on the matter of the death penalty issue of the governor signing, I think they might be a bit reluctant to sign these things, because if they allow justice to move so freely, I think some of them realize that that injustice that they allow to move freely will eventually haunt them. So I think they are incentivized to keep on frustrating the system, because
really?
I support the death penalty for capital.
But people are still being tried every day. People are being convicted every day.
Very low.
Well, I am saying people are being tried every day. People are being convicted every day. People are being sent to prison every day.
Okay.
You're suggesting that the governors are reluctant to sign the death warrants because they don't want justice to prevail, because they're afraid justice might bite them tomorrow. But I'm saying whether or not they sign the death warrants, people are being arrested every day. People are being prosecuted every day. People are being sent to jail every day. So justice is still prevailing some way.
I think the death penalty is like the capital punishment, one of the biggest things that the court can mete out to an offender. Every other thing can be done by way of talk. Like, you can do something, go in there, the claim is 15 years. In 3 years' time, when you're under the radar, you're out again on the streets. Money has changed hands. But death penalty, there's no going back. There's no arrangement that you die and come back. So it's the capital punishment. Every other thing can be cooked up. There's an amount of money that someone will offer me. If the thing is there, you can go and do 3 years in prison and come out with some heavy money. It has happened and it happened. So those ones are not really, they're just business as usual in my opinion. But the death penalty will show that yes, because a lot of work has to be done to prove someone guilty and convict the person so that he's sentenced to death. You know?
All right. Hello?
Good afternoon, Dayo.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say something about this death sentence you're talking about. Let me say something. You see, sometimes we wait outside, they look what they do. We see it in different angles. But those who want to do it have a different reason why they do what they do. You see, for my place, I see somebody who killed his brother. When he killed his brother, so they judge the man and sentence him to death. Later on, they let the man go. Like, make you go into the village they allow him to stay there for like 3 months. So when they allowed the man to stay there 3 months, they were monitoring, they sent some people to monitor the man's character, whether he had learned something, where he go. But unfortunately, the man did not learn anything. So the man started threatening him again to kill another person. So they invited him back to work. And today, as I speak to you today, we have not seen that man again. I also see another man, the same place, who has similar problem. So that one, they sentenced him to death, put him for Port prison here. So, but that one, later on, along the line, they discovered that they released that one. That one stayed for Port here around that area for like 1 year. They can't notice that guy too. They sent people to the monitor. They can't discover that guy now. That character don't change. As I spoke to you now, that guy they Port here now, but he's not fighting with anybody anymore. Sometimes we wait outside and say, when we see this thing, they actually call that a correctional center. So sometimes they want to see whether the person, what he do, whether he has remorse on himself. Or sometimes we want it to be as we talk it. But it doesn't work that way sometimes. God bless you.
Let's get your take as well. Let's see. All right, via Facebook, Nathan Akira goes, good day, Dayo. My response to your question is found in Ecclesiastes 8:11, and I quote, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. I rest my case. Precious, as Shirim goes, the reason most governors don't sentence is because sometimes they use these boys to carry out negative intentions during elections to grant them pardons and still use them. Seriously? That's an extreme position to hold, Precious, and I don't think you even have any iota of evidence to back this up. Still, lines open 0817 923 and 0002, 0817 923 0003 or 0817 923 0007. All right, Dayo, is it not hypocritical for some of these governors to refuse ratification of death sentence, but they are quick, allegedly, to unleash their thugs to kill innocent people during elections? That's from Gold. Well, allegedly, of course, Gold. Allegedly. Hello? All right, 3,298 inmates on death row in Nigeria. Should death sentences be carried out more quickly? According to the spokesperson of the Correctional Service, most governors, if not all, are quite shy about signing death warrants. What do you make of that? Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Dayo.
Go ahead.
Dayo, governors will not want to sign it because some of these boys, they will.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Dayo, good evening.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Eroma, and I'm calling from Netherlands. I agree with one of the callers that said the reason most governors will not sign the death warrants. They use these boys after the elections or during the elections. They get them out to do their dirty jobs.
They use them to do what?
So to do their dirty jobs, go against their opponents.
So if there is no evidence at all, even it doesn't even have to be something you can present. So how did you come about this position if you have no evidence at all?
The reason I say there is no evidence is because I can't present any to you now or to the numerous listeners.
Okay. What evidence do you have that may not be presentable? What evidence do you have that may not be presentable?
Say that again.
What evidence do you have that may not be presentable?
I have seen it happen.
What did you see happen? What did you see happen exactly?
Someone I know that has been in the prison for years. During this last election, I saw him on the streets. How did he get out?
Was he on death row? No, it's not funny actually. Was he on death row?
Okay. That I have to be sincere to myself now. That I wouldn't know if he was on death row.
How many years was he in prison for?
Well over 6-7 years.
No, I'm not asking how many years had he been in prison. I mean, okay, let me rephrase the question. How many years was he sentenced to serve?
Like I said, I'm being tempted to tell lies. I'm not. I wouldn't know the judgment he was.
So you don't know. So you don't know if his the time he was to spend in jail. You don't know if it had expired. If he had served his time, basically.
Why would he expire during the election period? What kind of coincidence is that?
I'm trying to make sense of that question.
And he was found doing the biddings of the politicians. Immediately got out.
So a criminal cannot leave the prison and then go back to a life of crime.
Go about illegal election activities.
Whatever kind of crime, a prisoner cannot leave prison and go back to a life of crime.
Well, I just hope I've established my point. I know there's some other of truth in it. These politicians use these boys for identity dealings.
No, this so-called evidence which you have presented doesn't hold any water at all. As a matter of fact, it proves absolutely nothing.
Okay, Dayo.
No, I mean the person who was incarcerated, I mean, could have served his time, and could have been released after having served, And yes, that he left the prison and then may have been involved in some, electoral anomaly or malfeasance is neither here nor there either. I mean, he could have come out of prison and gone to steal a car. He could have come out of prison and gone into internet fraud. I mean, how is one different from the other? It's a life of crime anyways. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good evening, Dayo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dayo, it's good that the governors do not want to sign the death sentence. Sometimes they will leave these people in the prison. One day, the chief judge will visit the prison and amnesty will be given to that person. And at the end of the day, you'll agree with me, those are the people that follow some of these politicians. In our various elections, have you seen these militants are the people that will become internal security of various political parties? So, at the end of the day, you see that
did you just say militants?
Militants and criminals.
What does militants have to do with this?
Dayo, these criminals that been given amnesty, at the end of the day.
Hello, just a moment. There is no correlation between amnesty for some persons who who may have committed a crime in the past and the matter that's being discussed right now. Absolutely no connection at all. I'm talking about people who are on death row. I mean, it's very clear. People who are on death row reportedly across the country now, there are over 3,000 of them. How the governors are, somewhat shy, or definitely shy, or absolutely shy with signing the death warrants at this time. I'm asking if that process should be expedited. I don't understand what that has to do with militants or ex-militants who got amnesty. What connection there is to that is completely beyond me. About 10 minutes ago before 5 o'clock, the news update is top of the hour at 5 p.m. From Jim Michael. Good evening, Dayo. I think the judiciary should handle the case of executions by themselves as an independent arm of government. They should remove it from the hands of governors, because if a capital crime has been committed by some government or governor-sponsored boys, it will be a soft landing for them. The governor knows that he has the final say by signing the death warrant, will assure the boys during the elections time that even if they are caught, you will pass the death sentence and will free you. So the execution should be handled by the judiciary alone, not the governors, because our governors are the major problems we have right now in the country, because they are sitting on the justice of the people. Okay. Fastest work on Facebook goes, given that the delay in executing death sentence is the core reason we still have jungle justice in this part of the world. Imagine a person who's been sentenced to death for committing a capital crime and is still left in jail for several years without execution. How then would the prosecutor or public rely on the court to be the hope of the common man? Hence, jungle justice wouldn't stop anytime soon. Hello, you're welcome. Please go ahead. We are wrapping this up. This conversation comes to an end shortly, but I can stick some more thoughts in it. At top of the hour, 5 o'clock, is the news update. Discussions continue after that. And speaking of discussions continuing after that, we'll be considering a comments credited to Senator Dino Melaye, now candidate in the coming Kogi State governorship elections. Well, he said, I gave PDP delegates anointing oil to pave my way to victory. I'll be asking you then, what you suppose anointing oil means, and should it be allowed to be a part of our democratic process? But for now, 3,298 inmates on death row in Nigeria. And governors not wanting to sign death warrants. What does that mean for a justice delivery system in the country? Will this deter potential offenders from committing capital offences? Should, signing death warrants, should that responsibility be taken away from governors? Should we execute death sentences a lot faster or quicker than we're doing at the moment? Numbers to call again, 0817 923 0002 or 0817 923 0003. I've got someone here on Facebook who says, I've seen some of them, but I don't want to mention names. Okay. Please don't mention names, not on this show anyway. Hello, you're welcome.
Yes, hello, Dayo. Good evening.
Hello, go on.
Okay, yes, my name is Meji.
Go ahead.
From Port Harcourt.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, the thing is, if you talk about this death sentence, it brings me back to the likes of David West, the young man that killed over, 12 girls or more in a hotel room. Just imagine a scenario where such a person is being granted pardon. What happens to the society? I feel that the judiciary should be responsible for signing whatever it is and then leave the state government out of it. Because such kind of person, just imagine a man who strangles more than 12 girls in different hotel rooms. And killed them as a cold-blooded murder. Just imagine such a guy is getting freedom in the future. It's crazy. So the government should look into this thing, and then they should take it. Like when people commit crime, they should go for it.
Yeah, but the governors not signing death warrants quickly does not automatically imply that the person on death row will secure their freedom in the future.
No, like over time, we've seen them, like every year or 2 years thereabouts, the judges go to courts to free a lot of inmates, even those on death row, those that have stayed in the prison for some years, they go to free them. So sometimes this is Nigeria. Like everything is possible. If you have an upper hand and then you don't get an appeal, you just see people who are on death row, you see them out. We've seen cases of people who kill people, and then today they're walking freely.
So, but my interest is the like of that David West. That young man that murdered more than 12 girls in different hotel rooms. Such a person, just imagine such a person gaining pardon from the judge or the chief judge or whatever. Just imagine the kind of scenario that kind of person will begin to, bring to the society.
But why would a chief judge or a governor want to grant pardon to a David West? What would be the basis for that?
I don't know. But like when we talk about capital offenses, we'll have people who committed capital offenses, and today they're moving freely. So that's what I'm talking about. That's my take. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go for a break now, and top of the hour, once again at 5, the news update comes up. Discussions continue after that. A reminder of what we're looking at next after the break. Senator Dinamilai not running for the office of governor in Kogi State, and he said, I gave PDP delegates anointing oil to pave my way for my victory. And he insists he didn't bribe them. So I'm asking, what do you think anointing oil is? Did he actually give bottles of anointing oil, or do you think it's representative of something else? What do you think that might be? And should the practice of giving delegates anointing oil, whatever you think anointing oil is, should it be accepted as a part of or allowed as a part of our democratic process? To stay tuned, Hard Facts return shortly.
You are tuned in to 92.3 Nigeria Info.